This is another Money Moves episode. Let's go ahead and see where the millions and millions of dollars have been flowing in the world of technology. VUZ gets $12 million for its immersive video experiences across emerging markets and the US. VUZ, a startup known for offering immersive video experiences from red carpets and football stadiums, has raised $12 million as it doubles down on its presence in Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, as well as accelerates expansion into Africa, Asia, and the United States. The pre-Series C funding round, led by the International Finance Corporation (IFC), also drew participation from Al Jazeera Capital, Crosswork VC, Success Fund, multiple existing investors, and several high-profile Saudi family offices. The company, which raised a $20 million Series B in 2022, has signed exclusive immersive streaming deals with La Liga and the Professional Fighters League (PFL), and is working with over 100 content creators whose combined audience reach tops 100 million. VUZ's expansion push comes at a time when global streaming growth is plateauing in mature markets. YouTube and TikTok dominate mobile-first video consumption in the US, while Netflix and Disney Plus are fighting churn and focusing on profitability. However, in emerging markets like Egypt, Nigeria, Indonesia, and Kenya, user growth is still accelerating. Satara says VUZ is ready to meet their demand, and the platform has crossed 15 million users globally, up from 10 million in 2022, and now logs nearly 3 billion lifetime screen views, up from 1 billion at the time. Still, Zatara believes VUZ, which is targeting over 5 billion lifetime views by 2026, can carve a niche by going where others don't. SparkCharge raises $30 million to help fleets electrify without commitments. SparkCharge is a company that offers what it calls charging as a service. Fleets sign a deal with the startup to buy electricity on a per kilowatt hour basis, and SparkCharge makes charging happen. The startup has expanded into all 50 states, Canada, and Mexico. To continue to expand, SparkCharge has raised $15.5 million in a Series A1 round led by Montes Fam, with participation from Cleveland Avenue, Collab Capital, Elemental Impact, Marcy Penn, and Non-Sibi Ventures, the company said. Alongside the equity round, SparkCharge also secured a $15 million venture loan from Horizon Technology Finance Corporation. SparkCharge turns to mobile chargers powered by batteries or generators, which Aviv said can run on propane, natural gas, or hydrogen. The startup can either drop the equipment off and let the customer handle charging, or it can offer white glove service where SparkCharge handles all aspects of charging, including plugging in. As customers' operations grow, the company can help them transition to permanent charging infrastructure. So far, 95% of SparkCharge's customers use its off-grid chargers. Siro lands $50 million to expand its AI-powered coaching for sales reps. An increasing number of meetings have an AI note-taker present that transcribes the call and provides action items. Siro wants to do the same for sales folks who are on the ground and talking to customers face-to-face. Recently, the company announced it has secured $50 million in a Series B round led by Signal Fire, with participation from Dick Costolo and Adam Bain's VC firm O1 Advisors. Square CPO Samil Mehta, the founders of business management software Squire, Sanj Larone and Dave Salvin, former Yelp SVP of engineering Michael Stoppelman, and former Snap engineering VP Deng Zhu also participated. To date, Siro has raised a total of $75 million. Siro transcribes sales meetings via an app. Features include a company-wide dashboard where sales folks can submit successful calls and sort them by engagement from peers, allowing other reps to listen to top calls and get insights about improving on-ground sales visits. Siro's solution is helping digitize the dark matter of offline conversations, compromising field sales engagements, which has broad extensibility across verticals and depth and downstream actions that can be instrumented from this data, such as customer and product insights. In more Money Moves news, Gravitee, a platform that helps companies manage APIs, raises $60 million. Gravitee, a platform designed to help companies manage their APIs and other digital traffic pipelines, has raised $60 million in a Series C funding round led by 6th Street Growth, with participation from Riverside Acceleration Capital and Albayan VC. The new capital, which brings as Gravity's total raise to just over $125 million will be used to fund the development of new product features and Gravity's expansion into new markets. The Gravitee platform can be deployed on premises, self-hosted, or used as a part of Gravity's software as a service plan. Features across all releases include a tool for designing APIs and deploying them ahead of mock testing, as well as a dashboard from which users can visualize the components of their API deployments. CEO Blundell claims that Gravitee is differentiated by its support for both asynchronous APIs and synchronous APIs. Gravitee has hundreds of customers today, including Blue Yonder, Michelin, Roche, and Tide. HTX Labs $5.8 million to scale XR training. HTX Labs, an immersive learning software company, has secured a $5.8 million strategic funding increase grant from AFWERX. This comes after HTX Labs completed a small business innovation research phase 2 project in which it created and delivered a virtual training solution on the KC-135 aircraft for personnel at RAF Middlehall in the UK, in collaboration with the 101st Air Refueling Wing Maintenance Squadron of the Main Air National Guard. HTX Labs will continue this development and deliver a virtual classroom to train, prepare, and support maintainers of the F-108 engine, a critical component of the Boeing KC-135 aerial refueling tanker aircraft. HTX Labs' new project seeks to understand and validate the effectiveness of XR-based training, especially in improving maintenance personnel readiness and reducing costs associated with acquiring physical training resources. This initiative aims to enhance, accelerate, and provide more opportunities for training military maintenance personnel and ultimately improve student learning outcomes by integrating AI-driven immersive lessons through key advancements of HTX Labs' Impact platform. Impact is an AI-driven XR platform that enables instructors and training professionals to create interactive classrooms for students. Users can create virtual training environments and deploy 2D and 3D assets for students to develop new and existing skills. Saildrone brings in $60 million to expand European Maritime Presence. Saildrone Incorporated, a developer of maritime autonomy, recently announced the closing of a $60 million investment round. The company said it will use the investment to bring its technology to Europe to address the urgent need for maritime security for critical infrastructure and wider defense applications. EIFO, the Export and Investment Fund of Denmark, led the round. Other participants in the round included existing investors Lux Capital, Washington Harbor Partners, Crawley, and Academy Securities, joined by new investors Pinegrove. The Baltic, North Sea, and European Arctic waters are currently facing unprecedented threats, noted Saildrone. The California-based company's uncrewed surface vehicles, USVs, use sophisticated sensors combined with proprietary AI algorithms. These provide a full picture of the maritime environment above and below the sea surface. Saildrone plans to deploy the first 4 Saildrone Voyagers in the Baltic Sea under contract to the Danish Armed Forces. In addition, Saildrone claimed that its USVs offer endurance and resilience. They are capable of operating autonomously for extended durations in the world's harshest maritime environments. In our next Money Moves news, we have Strava is buying up athletic training apps, first Runner and now the Breakaway. The social fitness app Strava has made 2 acquisitions over the last month. Recently, Strava acquired cycling app The Breakaway following its acquisition of Runner last month. Incubated by Y Combinator's summer 2021 class, The Breakaway uses AI to create personalized training plans for cyclists working towards specific goals. Runner, a UK-based and jam-jar-backed app, functions similarly but is built for runners rather than cyclists. Strava allows users to track their workouts and plan their outdoor running routes, but it has differentiated itself by adding a social component, allowing users to see where, when, and how their friends exercise. Strava has not yet clarified exactly how or if features from Runner and The Breakaway will be integrated into the Strava app. Martin said that Runner will at least remain a standalone app, so it's likely that The Breakaway will follow a similar plan. It's also yet to be determined if the pricing of these more premium products will change. Currently, a yearly Strava subscription costs $80 per year, while yearly Runner and The Breakaway subscriptions cost about $120 and $70 respectively. But last month, Martin said there are no plans to change pricing or to remove access to the free versions of these products. Luminar secures up to $200 million following CEO departure and layoffs. LiDAR company Luminar reached a deal with Yorkville Advisors Global and an unnamed investor that could bring another $200 million into its coffers through the sale of convertible preferred stock over an 18-month period. This agreement, which was announced in a regulatory filing recently, follows an abrupt change in leadership and layoffs. Under the terms, Luminar will issue $35 million in convertible preferred stock to investors. Luminar may issue additional tranches in amounts of up to $35 million, no more than every 60 days at a purchase price equal to 96% of the stated value of the convertible preferred stock. However, Luminar isn't under any obligation to issue additional stock. The company said proceeds from the initial $35 million issuance are expected to be used for general corporate purposes and debt retirement. In 2021, Luminar merged with special purpose acquisition company Forest Metropolis with a post-deal market valuation of $3.4 billion. RevenueCat raises $50 million as it expands beyond mobile app monetization. RevenueCat, a company so tied to the mobile economy that now 1 in 3 new subscription apps launched with its software under the hood, is preparing to expand its business. Capitalizing on its market position, which now includes powering the subscriptions in over 70,000 mobile apps, RevenueCat's growth plan will focus on using its understanding of the mobile industry to solve more of the common problems that mobile developers face. To fuel its growth, RevenueCat has raised $50 million in a Series C funding in a round led by Bain Capital Ventures. Returning investors include Index Ventures, Y Combinator, Adjacent, Volo Ventures, and Sastra Fund also participated. The funds extend RevenueCat's earlier $12 million Series C from last year, bringing its total raise to date to $100 million. With additional capital, the startup is now valued at $500 million post-money. RevenueCat aims to help developers with other aspects of their business beyond billing and subscriptions in areas like customer acquisition, as well as lending money to apps facing cash flow constraints. The new funds will also help RevenueCat build its next products, hire, and fuel merger and acquisition efforts to accelerate growth. Pharma giant Regeneron to buy 23andMe and its customers' data for $256 million. Pharmaceutical maker Regeneron recently announced it will buy genetic testing company 23andMe for $256 million following a bankruptcy auction. Regeneron said it will acquire 23andMe's genomics service and its bank of 15 million customers' personal and genetic data as part of the deal. The pharma giant said it plans to use the 23andMe customer data to help drug discovery and that it will prioritize the privacy, security, and ethical use of 23andMe's customer data. In addition, Regeneron said in its statement that as the named buyer in the bankruptcy auction, it intends to ensure compliance with 23andMe's privacy policies and laws regarding customer data. The bankruptcy court is set to consider Regeneron's acquisition on June 17. Alt Carbon scores $12 million seed to scale carbon removal in India. From a struggling family tea estate to an innovative climate venture, Alt Carbon has raised $12 million in a seed round as it plans to scale its carbon dioxide removal work in the South Asian nation. The climate tech startup, which locks away carbon for thousands of years through enhanced rock weathering on farmlands, attracted investment led by Lackey Groom, the co-founder of the robotics AI company Physical Intelligence. Last year, Alt Carbon started its pilot around the Agarwal's family tea estate on about 500 acres of land, which they later scaled up in North Bengal, expanding their scope from tea farms to those of rice and bamboo. The startup aims to expand to 500,000 hectares of land. By 2030, the startup aims to remove 5 million tons of carbon from the region. Alt Carbon deploys enhanced rock weathering using waste basalt rock dust from mines and quarries in the volcanic indigenous province of Ramajal Traps, located in eastern India. The rock dust, a waste product from the construction industry, is spread on farm fields where it reacts naturally with rainwater to remove carbon dioxide and add micronutrients to the soil to improve its fertility and health and enhance crop yields. When rainwater containing carbon dioxide interacts with basalt dust, it forms stable bicarbonate ions. These are stored in the soil and eventually flow through rivers to the ocean, where they settle as calcium carbonate, locking away carbon for over 10,000 years.